What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for the start of the Manchester City daily transfer updates throughout summer 2019 summer transfer window. So make sure, if you are interested in including every details of all the incomings and outgoings and latest contract news daily, don't forget, then make sure you do press the red button, subscribe, and press the bell and put your push notifications on. We have smashed past 3,000 subscribers, so next target will be 4,000, so it would be great to hit that ASAP. And don't forget, you want to stay up to date with the latest news, make sure you go and check out my social media links, in particular Twitter, which is in description below, which is at JSGC171. And also, if you're interested, because we're doing it daily, if you want to sponsor any of these videos or have any general business inquiries, then make sure you do hit me up on my email, which is jsgc171@gmail.com, which you can find also in description below. So we're going to crack on with this video and start off with the ins, and we've got some news with regards to Atletico Madrid midfielder Rodri. Now, Bayern have apparently met with Atletico Madrid about the possibility of talking about Rodri, but apparently Bayern don't seem too interested with him because there's clubs already ahead of them in the pecking order, one of them of which is Manchester City, and apparently it's been marked that Manchester City are in an advanced stage for this transfer. However, no fee has been agreed, no personal terms have been agreed, and to me, the deal seems, rather than advanced, seems quite far away in my opinion. Now, Sam Lee from Goal, he's been speaking about Rodri, and he said that Manchester City's main defensive midfield target for this summer is Rodri, and Manchester City are willing to pay that release clause. Of course, if you think back to previous transfer updates, Atletico Madrid have confirmed that there is a club that are willing to activate that release clause, so it seems that that may well be Manchester City. What I don't understand is why, if Manchester City are so keen, they don't activate that release clause with immediate effect, basically, if they're willing to pay it before Bayern Munich, who are getting linked, and Barcelona are getting linked, swoop in and get ahead of us in the pecking order. I don't understand why we're so slow at these transfers. For me, this transfer could be quite quick. It seems like it's just going so slow, and we're just giving the opportunity for other clubs just to step ahead of us in the market. And if he's our top target, go and get the deal done as ASAP, in my opinion, if they're willing to activate that release clause. Now, next up, I mentioned in the last video about Joao Cancelo, I hope that's how you say his name, of Juventus, but this rumour grows ever stronger. Now, he's the Juventus right back, €60 million value apparently. We're looking at about £50–55 million. Apparently, this deal will only happen should Danilo leave. Of course, Inter Milan have cooled their interest in Danilo, and so there isn't a lot of interest in Europe with regards to Danilo, and so it all depends on if he leaves or not, as to whether this transfer happens or not. But some reports in Italy, they've been suggesting that this move may well happen, may well not, but these same sources that have come from Italy are the same ones that were saying Pep were going to Juventus to manage them, which obviously wasn't true. They were saying all last summer Manchester City were signing Jorginho. Obviously, we didn't sign Jorginho, and so I'm just questioning the reliability of these sources. And so, to me, it's a rumour, and at the moment that is all it is. Now, Sam Lee from Goal, he spoke about transfers and he spoke about Cancelo, and he said that Manchester City haven't stepped up their interest in Cancelo, not as of yet, but they are a player that Manchester City are keen on and have looked at, or that's what he thinks anyway. But Manchester City will have scouted and looked at hundreds, if not thousands, of players, and so whether we're going to go in for Cancelo or not, I don't know. There is definite interest, Sam Lee from Goal did say, in Wan-Bissaka. Again, he said any right-back move will only be pending Danilo leaving Manchester City, and at this moment in time it isn't likely that Danilo will leave this summer, but the summer transfer market is a long transfer market, and as we all know, anything can happen. I'll keep an eye on Wan-Bissaka, Danilo, and also Cancelo for you. Any updates, and I will give it to you when I have news. Now, The Sun, they've been reporting that Manchester City are going to turn their attentions to Harry Maguire. This isn't anything new to us. We already know this. They're saying, though, listen to this, £75 million Leicester want for him. Now, to me, I don't see City paying £75 million for a defender. I don't see you spending £75 million on an attacker, never mind a defender. Now, he's going to cost Harry Maguire more than what Matthijs De Ligt is going to cost. He's cheaper, but my concern with De Ligt is that De Ligt wants to go to Barcelona. They're holding out for Barcelona, and his agent, he's holding out for Barcelona. He wants other clubs to be interested in De Ligt, so he knows that they can rise up that price, and Barcelona's got to pay more agent fees and more fees and wage to Matthijs De Ligt too. And so, it's all about City finding a good deal. And as far as De Ligt's concerned, Sam Lee from Goal spoke about De Ligt, and he said as far as he's concerned, that deal won't ever happen. His agent, Mino Raiola, I hope that's how you say his name, but I think he's been banned for 3 months as well, but he is the agent of De Ligt, and Pep and City's board do not get along with him, and they won't ever go in negotiations with him for his clients. De Ligt's included in that, and so I'm not too sure why our name's still out there with De Ligt. But Sam Lee did mention something extremely interesting to me. We know Garcia, Eric Garcia, he's going to be promoted to the Manchester City first team as of next season, so we should see him in pre-season. He said that City, though, should Otamendi leave, will still only sign one centre-back this summer. Vincent Kompany's leaving, we need a centre-back, so if Otamendi leaves, we won't be replacing, we'll just be using Eric Garcia, and if Otamendi stays, we'll still be using Otamendi and Eric Garcia too. Interesting in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think we should stoop up and pay Harry Maguire's fee? Do you think we should look elsewhere? Do you think the De Ligt deal is dead in the water? Should we negotiate with his poisonous agent? Please do let me know in the comments below. But one thing's for certain, if they do negotiate with his agent, they'll get ripped off, just like Man United. I've asked them a couple of times with a couple of their transfers, which isn't how City do their business. Now we'll move on to the outs, and we've got some news on Fabian Delph. Interesting this. The Sun's been reporting City have set their price on Fabian Delph, which is £15 million. Now, I doubt that any club's going to spend £15 million on Fabian Delph, with just 1 year left on his contract to run and out of favour at Manchester City. But you never know. He is English. He's in the England squad for the upcoming Nations League semi-final and final. I don't know. Interest is coming in from Leeds. They're not going to pay anywhere near £15 million. They haven't been promoted to the Premier League. They haven't got Premier League money. They won't be paying that money. Now, Sam Lee from Goal, he's been speaking again. He's saying that City do want to sell Fabian Delph this summer. We know that. And further to that, as of yesterday, Fabian Delph was getting linked with a move to go and join Manuel Pellegrini at West Ham. So there is a bit of interest around and a little bit of room for negotiation for Manchester City to work with regards to selling Fabian Delph, should Fabian Delph wish to leave. 1 year left on his contract, and as far as I'm aware, City haven't tried to open into contract renewal talks with Fabian Delph, and Fabian Delph is available to leave should he want it. Leeds, I think he's from Yorkshire, so Leeds might be a suited club for him, but also getting linked with West Ham too. Now, next up, we've got news on Oleksandr Mangala, the forgotten man at Manchester City. Goal have been reporting that Manchester City want to sell Mangala. Now, well, I have a big problem with this because Mangala's contract was up in the end of this season. City decided to renew his contract and put on an extra year. Don't understand it. City want to sell him. Last couple of summers, we haven't managed to sell him. We haven't sold him in any of the transfer windows that we've wanted to sell him. I don't know why the club's confident that they're going to something's different this time around. He's not played any games. His value will be right down. Why not just release him? Let him be go out on a free, not renew his contract, and let him go and do whatever Mangala wants to do. What's the odds of him going out on loan and City having to pay some of his wage for the next year? It's just such a frustrating deal. That did not make sense to me then. It doesn't make sense to me now, and it's baffling. It baffles me. Now, moving on, big story this with Leroy Sane. The Bayern president has been speaking about Leroy Sane, and he said that Bayern are indeed working on a deal to sign Leroy Sane. Fact is, Bayern want Leroy Sane. Manchester City want to keep Leroy Sane. That's the situation we're in at the moment. Now, we know that Bayern are working on a deal. They're trying to sign him. I do know that Leroy Sane a target for Bayern because Robben's left, Ribery's left. They need fresh, young wingers. Leroy Sane being a German international too would suit them down to the ground, and they see him as an ideal replacement for them and would suit their system of a nice, young, quick winger, nice and aggressive, very direct, would suit Bayern Munich. Problem they've got, he's going to cost quite a lot of money. And Manchester City, apparently, they have a price of how much they want for him. I was crying for it to be around £100 million. It isn't. Apparently, it's somewhere between 80 and €100 million, which is strange, considering players like Jadon Sancho is valued, who's not got as much experience as Leroy Sane, by the way, is valued at more than what Leroy Sane is. To me, we should be demanding triple-figure million sum in pounds for Leroy Sane, minimum. 2 years to run on his contract. City want to put him on a new contract. That's the situation we're in at the moment. Leroy Sane has competed in one of the hardest, if not the hardest league in the world. 10 goals, 10 assists. Solid season, Great season last season too. He's a wonderful player. To me, if we're getting around £80 million, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. It's not like he's got a year left in his deal. He's got 2 years, and we're entering negotiations to try and get him to extend upon that. I'm not too sure. It'd help if we had interest from somewhere like Real Madrid or Barcelona or PSG or somewhere, so we could hike that price up. Because as far as I'm concerned, Bayern Munich don't pay lots and lots of money. I don't ever see them paying £100 million, certainly not anytime soon anyway, for a player. And to me, that's my value for Leroy Sane. So anything under that, it'll be very disappointing. Sam Lee's had his say on this, and he said that City don't want to sell. City will be tempted, though, should it get to around £100 million to sell, because this would fund for a move for Joao Felix. Now, the problem with Joao Felix is he's going to cost a lot of money. If City do decide to pay his release clause, which is €120 million, then Manchester City, it kind of goes against their transfer policy of paying lots of money for players. They don't really like breaking records, City. They don't like paying over the odds for players, and they have a strategy where £50 million somewhere there or thereabouts for players, and they like signing them raw and young and developing them into young, extremely good players that have obviously increased on their sell-on value that City, the players wanted to leave, like Sane, will make big profits on him, which should Sane leave this summer, we will. And so, I'm not sure. I don't really see us going for Felix, because I don't see us paying that money. We know if we pay it once, then every time we go for a player, clubs are going to be demanding more and more and more, and it makes it very difficult. It's strange. I don't know. Sky Sports News have had their say with Leroy Sane. They've reported Bayern have bid €80 million for him. However, the Bayern president said to Sky Sports that the chances of them signing Leroy Sane is slim. That's not what we've heard from Man City, though. City are trying to get him to sign a new deal, and City have said apparently the likeliness of him signing a new deal, they rate it at 50-50. They're not sure. That to me suggests it isn't a slim chance of him joining Bayern. That suggests if he doesn't sign that contract, it tells me he wants to move to Bayern. City are going to have to open up negotiations. Then it's all about fees and personal terms. It might drag on, but this is one of those that could get real warm real quickly. So I'll bring you the very latest on Leroy Sane if and when I do get it. Now, another forgotten man we'll talk about, Patrick Roberts. He's been linked with Leicester City as of a couple of days ago. Brendan Rodgers has worked with him before at Celtic, and he would like to see him go to Leicester. Absolutely no problem with him going to Leicester, by the way, as long as that is a permanent transfer. I'm just wondering if Patrick Roberts' transfer could be used as a potential haggle with regards to Harry Maguire. It's not something City normally do, but maybe not. Anyway, interesting one again, David Silva. Apparently he's got offers to go to Japan, and according to more sources coming in from Qatar, he's got interest coming in from a Qatari team too, who are willing to offer David Silva a whopping £12 million a year contract, tax-free. Absolutely incredible. David Silva has 1 year left on his deal at Manchester City, and my personal opinion is David Silva will fulfil his contract and he will leave Manchester City next season rather than this summer, so next summer rather than this summer. And the Sun were reporting that should City decide to get rid of David Silva and let him go, and obviously David Silva earned a lot of money in Qatar, that City are getting linked with Yuri Tielemans. I see Tielemans not joining Manchester City. He's got interest, I think, from Man United, from Arsenal, and a major interest from Leicester, where he's been out on loan, and they do want him. Now, last but not least, in the out news, we're going to be talking about a City youngster called Noah Ohio. Don't know a lot about him, but apparently he's turned down a new deal at Manchester City. He's 16 years old. He's getting linked with Ajax, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, just to name a few. Apparently the favourite to sign him, though, is Red Bull Leipzig over in Germany, and he's decided that he would like to leave Manchester City, hence rejecting the deal, and possibly and probably heading to Germany instead. So City could well be losing another youngster to the Bundesliga. Like I said, 16 years old, she's chosen to represent the Netherlands at international youth level. He's also can play for England, and I think he can also play for Nigeria, but don't quote me on that. Now, last but not least, in the whole news, contract news, comes Oleksandr Zinchenko. Oleksandr Zinchenko has said he wants a new deal at Manchester City. He wants to stay. We've got players that want to be here. In my opinion, he should be getting a new deal and a new pay rise now, basically. He's had a wonderful season, and he deserves it. Al Mubarak, Manchester City's chairman, spoke that giving lots of players new deals, they're giving it because they've deserved it. Well, Zinchenko slotted in. We've got no left back with Benjamin Mendy being so injury prone. We've got just Zinchenko that can play there. Obviously, he wants to stay and fight for his place and play with Manchester City and play at left back. He's happy to play there. get him on a new deal, in my opinion. So there we go. That has been the video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you leave a big thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You can go and check out my social media and email links. They're in description below if you want to go and check them out and follow me on there. That would be much appreciated. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe, press the bell and put your push notifications on, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the next Manchester City daily transfer update. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace. Ciao for now.